Thank you all for coming. Welcome to our 2018 Climate Leadership Gala. I'd like to recognize and welcome Senators Jeanne Shaheen and soon Michael Bennet as our guests of honor, and also our diplomatic corps and all our esteemed guests. I'd like to extend our gratitude. I actually like this part of the evening the best because I get to thank people. And first of all, I'd like to recognize all the people who made this a success, particularly Susan Bass and the staff of Earth Day Network. I had a whole bunch of funny stories about Susan Bass, but she made me take them out of the script, so sorry. Later on, I'd like to thank, of course, our sponsors, including Toyota, which has been a critical partner of Earth Day Network for many, many years. Way back before my time, Dennis is here, and he can tell you about it. Earth Day Network partnered with Toyota to roll out the very first Prius in the U.S. in 2000, and we are proud to be working with them on the Mirai, which I hope you have had a chance to see. Toyota also sponsors our Athletes for the Earth program, which brings top athletes together with Earth Day Network and our partners, all those people who care about climate change and the world at large. And I'd also, and this is very personal, I want to thank Toyota because my husband's Prius just passed 300,000 miles. There it is, on the same battery, and he actually videotaped the event, which I would not suggest you to do while driving. But it's a great car company, so thank you, Toyota. Our sponsors also include Ion 360. You saw that wonderful 360 camera. There they are. That technology dramatically changes the way we experience life and tell our stories. Working in 360 is humanizing, and a perfect example of how technology can serve human beings' ability to interact with the real world. The definition of the word environment, and I use this all the time, is what surrounds you. And what surrounds you with 360 technology brings the world back to us in incredible perspective. So Giovanni, thank you. We look forward to working with you in 2020, and we love the camera. Thank you. And I'd also like to thank Troy Weissman, our board member, the president and CEO of EcoPlanet Bamboo. He's been an amazing partner. He has been instrumental in helping Earth Day Network bring environmental and climate literacy to a number of countries, including Nicaragua, a country where he operates many important projects. And I think lots of people in the international world believe that Troy may have had a major impact on why Nicaragua signed the climate agreement. His company is an innovative fiber company that pioneered the industrialization of bamboo as a commercial alternative. It's a tree-free fiber for industries and product sector. He has done an amazing job of creating jobs at living wages for many, many people and employs many women in his projects, and we're extremely proud to be working with him. They just signed a 200,000 ton per year closed loop biorefinery in Nicaragua, which will represent the world's first tree-free, deforestation-free green pulping facility, which also uses a third less energy and a third less water and has zero waste. So, Troy, thank you for everything. We have three other partners that are really important to us. I'd like to thank HP, and Nate Hurst is the head of sustainability and the social impact officer. He couldn't be here tonight, but they've been a really terrific partner for a number of years, and their commitment to environment and integrity that aligns with their strategy has been really important to Nate Hurst personally, to HP, and to Earth Day Network. So thank you, HP, and I think there are at least one or two people from HP here tonight. DBL Partners uses venture capital to accelerate innovation in a way that positively affects the organization's social impact. That is our award winners company, which has been remarkable, led by an extraordinary woman, as you will soon hear more about. DBL invests in and helps nurture entrepreneurs and companies in clean tech, information technology, sustainable products, services, and healthcare. And we finally, in terms of sponsors, want to thank Levite. I think some of you had the opportunity to try their eco-friendly, space-saving, trash-reducing alternative to bottled water and canned beverages. The company's unique Water Cooler Craft, which was in one of our receptions, creates beverages from 100% recyclable aluminum capsules. Over 1,500 companies are hydrating their employees with Levite, including, I hope, Earth Day Network very soon. Levite is a very strong supporter of our fabulously successful end plastic pollution campaign. So thank you, all of our sponsors. One of the real joys of this job is bringing our staff from around the world. Earth Day Network operates in 192 countries, and we have one extraordinary woman who is our Southeast Asia Regional Coordinator, Karuna Singh, who lives in India and who's brought dramatic change to that country. Earth Day has become very important to the citizens of India thanks to her effort. I think she would agree it's like Earth Day 1970 all over again, and she's leading a national awakening of environmentalism, which includes educating children, providing opportunities to participate in government, to educate people on the importance of moving away from fossil fuels, and helping train future leaders. To say that Karuna has been successful in bringing environmental citizenship and education would be a dramatic understatement. She is reaching more than half the country's population. Modi, the governors, every single state of India is fully engaged in Earth Day. We're extremely proud of her. So please thank Karuna wherever she is. You know, very soon India will be the most populated country on our planet. If they do what they plan to do, which is to bring energy and middle-class incomes to hundreds of millions of people, and they do it in the wrong way, all the climate leadership in the world will not make a bit of difference. Karuna's efforts has awakened the populist movement there. And in addition, she has really made extraordinary progress with the faith-based community. She signed an agreement with the head of the Sikhs, an important religion worldwide, 24 million to ban single-use plastic from their temples. It's been really an extraordinary set of projects, and we're really proud of her. I would also like to recognize Earth Day Network's board member who recognized Karuna's talents and leadership very early on and has helped fund a gigantic share of the campaigns throughout India. Molly Ross, where are you? Thank you, Molly. In this room are about 300 climate and future climate leaders, and I would like to acknowledge all of your efforts. But I'd also like to mention someone I met recently, Peter Kowski, a physicist and a tech guru who decided that mitigation and adaptation to climate change was not good enough. Peter is working with scientists and engineers from around the world to revisit the issue of restoration and to look at safe, practical technologies that may help reverse the ravages of climate change. So thank you, Peter, very much for all of your work. Earth Day and Earth Day Network grew out of the same belief system. That is, the fate of the Earth and its climate and our species are in the hands of everyone, and not just a few. EDN's mission is to broaden, activate, diversify the environmental movement worldwide, which was born out of this knowledge that without a global army of active and educated citizens, we won't prosper, and I think we may not even survive. EDN is about building the bottom of the pyramid. It's not always the coolest job in the room. We do some legislation, we do get involved in regulation, but for most part, we're slogging it away, building an environmental movement in every country on the face of the earth. That's a tough job. And Earth Day has grown into Earth Week, Earth Month, Earth Season, and all year round with programs and campaigns, including our focus on reforestation, tied to supporting countries that so they can help them attain their climate goals. We work to create universal climate and environmental literacy, which in our view, and now that of the UN, the World Bank, and almost every multilateral and government, now is the only way to build the army that we're talking about. Environmental education has unfortunately been this poor stepchild of the environmental movement, but now all of a sudden people have religion. They're really investing in climate literacy so we can build not just an army of educated people and activists, but the workers of tomorrow, the consumers of tomorrow. So it's critically important for all of us to really become engaged in our goals to create climate and environmental literacy worldwide. This year we launched a permanent campaign to end plastic pollution, and finally we are focused on protecting and restoring our critically important species. This year, if you found yourself reading about plastics, it was probably because of Earth Day Network. I'm not sure if we have a slide, Jason, to put up, but we did some Google Analytics on the extraordinary impact of plastics worldwide, and what we found is that we were able to create over and over again a massive response globally to end plastics pollution. And one of my favorite stories of the entire campaign was at the end of it, Susan Bass and I each received a number of emails, and they said, this Earth Day, the world focused on ending plastic pollution. That was our theme. And then they said, please give to us, and we'll carry it forward. So at least the world was taking advantage of this great campaign that we ran, and it was pretty darn extraordinary. Across the world, people took it very seriously, began to look at the health impacts of climate, look at the opportunities to come up with an alternative, so we're really excited about it. That campaign is pretty amazing in the sense that it shows a number of years, 5 years of Google Trends for search content, and the highest the last year for new searches. So you can see what happened as you went along, and all of a sudden you hit Earth Day. It's a pretty extraordinary response worldwide to it. So we've educated a lot of people. And many people in this room were part of that campaign, and we're extremely grateful. And I'd like to thank Denise Zeck, our media guru, and Valeria Marino, our Earth Day Vice President, for the incredible job that they did to lead the countries around the world, including India and China, to put plastics at the top of the agenda. And while Earth Day Network is represented here by Dennis Hayes as well, who organized and created the first Earth Day, pretty extraordinary man, my boss. In fact, I don't think he's ever said a cross or mean word to me. Every once in a while he'll raise his eyebrows, but that's about it. I want to highlight one of our most important goals for the 50th anniversary of Earth Day. We recently announced a partnership with the U.S. State Department, represented here by Landon Van Dyke, and the Wilson Center, represented by Ann Bowser, to create Earth Challenge 2020, a global citizen science project that will engage hundreds, if not thousands, of universities and high school students around the world in a global hackathon to create apps and other technologies that will allow participants to identify pollution in their communities and upload it on our global platform. We hope to have 1 billion data points of citizen science by Earth Day 2020. This challenge will help us fulfill our goal of engaging millions, if not billions, of people in our movement who will be collecting air and water quality, pollution, and we hope to do something pretty remarkable with the lenses of cameras and with other technologies that are in the works. So we're really excited about that. In addition to the U.S. State Department and to the Wilson Center, we have other great friends that have joined this campaign, including Connect for Climate, a World Bank project, and we have Julia and Jill here from the World Bank. Conservation X Labs, the Holt Prize, and Ahmad Ashkar. If you don't know Ahmad, you should, there he is, who runs the Holt Prize, among other things. Open Geospatial Consortium, Reset, SciStarter, UN Environment Program, which is now UN Environment, sorry, also here. So we're very, very excited about this project. It's one of the main goals of Earth Day 2020. So thank you for being here, and we look forward to any of you who want to get engaged. We hope everyone in the room will recognize the importance of the 50th anniversary of Earth Day, which comes in the middle of presidential primaries and at a time when many of the world's commitments on climate change and sustainability commitments are all coming due. We know that the people in this room, together with the army of scientists and citizens that we're going to bring together, will change the course of history, just as the first Earth Day did in 1970, an event which remains the largest civic action in human history. 20 million people at one time on the streets of this country. And now I'd like to turn the evening over to Kathleen Matthews, our Master of Ceremony. She has been a stalwart supporter of this event. She comes every year, does an awesome job. Many of you know her. She's been in the nation's capital in Maryland for 40 years as a journalist, communications, public affairs, and of course, a Democratic political activist. So Kathleen, please welcome.